Indeed, as you saw before, the Airbus Beluga does indeed look like a beluga whale, but that is not what is most interesting about the Airbus Beluga, it's its capabilities. The Airbus Beluga is 56.15 meters in length, has a total overall wingspan of 44.84 meters, and has a height of 17.24 meters. That's a pretty big plane. It also has a carrying capacity of 47 tons, can cruise at a speed of 850 kilometers an hour, and is so big that it can transport other planes. This plane is the epitome of size and efficiency. To get a better idea of this efficiency, we'll bring you right on down to the cockpit where the magic happens. Inside the cockpit, the Airbus Beluga pilots get an access to a plethora of useful devices, such as their active radar system, which allows them to communicate with transponders, and of course their big fancy red ejection button, which allows them to get into safety whenever they need. They're fully reclinable seats for those long cargo hauls. And of course their communication panels, so they don't get lost. This is the overall setup of how the pilots would be oriented in a 13-hour cargo flight from Vancouver, British Columbia to Singapore. The Beluga's radar transceiver is hooked up right under the nose cone to allow for optimal radar communication with any air traffic control operators. Next up, we have the Trent 700s, which are a unique series of engine that only belong to the Airbus family, specifically the A330, which is a passenger aircraft, which the Beluga is very closely based on, which provides the aircraft with high fuel efficiency over a very long range, upwards of 2,000 kilometers. The Trent 700s have been around since 1995, making them a fairly unique engine, which complements the Beluga, which is also a fairly unique aircraft, with only 6 currently being in existence and usage by Airbus. The landing gear of the Beluga is very unique compared to most other aircraft, as it mainly relies on hydraulic fluid for the dampening of the suspension system, along with bogie and pitch trimmers, as you can see flexing right here, to allow for the pilots to have a more smooth ride as they taxi along the runway. As we can see as we're disassembling the tire here, Airbus has their own padded and unique carbon brakes, which allow for maximal heat absorption when in those tricky situations. The unique ability of the Airbus Beluga's frontal nose gear is the ability to steer itself, lessening the need for any taxi on the runway. This frontal nose gear is also equipped with the specialized carbon brakes, allowing for quick stoppage. This nose landing gear is also very quickly retractable and extendable just in case of emergency. The Beluga's wings are not much different than a regular aircraft, besides the trailing edge on the right of the wing, and the heavier actuators to move the much larger flaps needed to generate much more lift for the heavier aircraft. Similarly to the wing, the vertical-horizontal stabilizers in the winglets do not differ much from a regular aircraft despite their unusually large size. This is due to the fact that the Beluga is a very large and heavy aircraft and needs a lot of air to move it from left to right.